thing I love about food is when it's seasoned to perfection. You know, when it just jumps off of whatever you're using, whatever utensil, your fingers, your chopsticks, your fork, whatever, when it jumps off of that and just attacks your taste buds, whew, right? But life can be that way sometimes as well, right? Not just the seasonings that we sprinkle, but sometimes in a lot of different ways it can show up in our life. So I'm looking forward to hearing how, you know, flavor and seasoning impact your passion and your life. Also, if your poem is not on theme tonight, that's totally cool. We are still looking forward to hearing your incredible artistry. All right, next week's theme. Y'all ready? Here it comes. Jewels of life. Heirlooms. Listen, what and whom are the precious minerals in your life, right? What are some of your crowning achievements? Right? What are some of the monumental turning points that have become jewels in your life that you're hoping to pass down as heirlooms, right? And what are some of the heirlooms that have been passed down to you and maybe that you want to pass down, right? What are some that you hope to pass on? So that's what we're going to focus on next week, right? The jewels of life. What heirlooms have you received? And maybe what some heirlooms that you want to pass on to the next generation. Looking forward to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Before I move on, happy Women's History Month, right? Appreciate y'all for plugging in all the way through Black History Month. Happy Women's History Month. Let's get to it. Of course, we are going to do it in Monday night style. Let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry. Yes, we have rules too here. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Yes, we do. All right, poets, turn your cameras on. All right. We want to try to simulate a real life open mic as much as possible. And we love to see the expressive nature and energy that you put into your performance. All right. Plus, folks who know me know I love these backgrounds. So I love to see how people flip their backgrounds, where they choose to put their space in their camera. So turn your cameras on because we want to see all of that expressive energy that you use to deliver your poetry. Also, make sure you are changing your name in your Zoom box to make sure that people can follow along when you let them know what's going on with you. So please turn your cameras on as you get ready to rip. Also, as you're getting ready to rip, have your poem ready. All right. If you're going analog style, paper, make sure you dog ear the page if you'd like. If you're going digital, have the poem accessible and ready to rock. If you're using music, which we totally love, make sure it's original music. All right. We don't want any agents of the interweb interfering with our uploads. So make sure your music is original if you're going to use music. Poets, you have 3 minutes to rock. All right. Also, you have a 30-second intro. Let the folks know where they can find you, how they can plug into all the things that you do. All right. Listen, we've been going over time. I'm cool with it, right? I'm 100% with it, right? But please try to be cognizant that there are 25 poets on the list. We want to try to get to all of them, which I'm going to make sure we get to all of them. However, the time has been going over. Make sure that we're trying to stick to the 3-minute time frame, please. And let the folks know where they can plug in. Make sure you're changing your Zoom name. All right. Also, you know what time it is, folks. You have landed on night 30 for the babies because there are plenty, and I say plenty, of explicit lyricists in our community. All right. And they will be very vulnerable at times. And listen, flashbacks can be very triggering. All right. The founders of the cafe made freedom of speech a priority, and it continues to run through the veins of every component. We will honor it to the fullest in every way possible. Therefore, there is no censorship. Thou hath been warned. All right. Besides any ism or hatred that people may use to manipulate people, which will not be tolerated, there is no censorship. Any form, any style, any language, bring it, bring it, bring it. All right. This is truly a call and response space, folks. After the poets give you a part of their energy, a part of their life force, right? You're going to see this pop up on your screen. This is when you can jump in and let the poets know, oh my goodness, that was slamming, that was whatever it is, right? This is when you can let the folks know also that you are in this room, all right? Share this energy. I keep saying, every ounce of energy that you share with the poet, you're going to get back in their performance. So make sure you are sharing your energy with the room. It will come back to you 100%. And don't worry about the noise. It's Monday night, baby. It's the rowdiest night of the week. Come on, you know what it is. All right. Sign up tonight is closed, all right? Sign up happens 24 hours before the open mic, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You go to neweurekan.org. You click on full events calendar. All right. You want the Monday night that you want to perform on, then you need an artist RSVP ticket. These tickets will not populate until 24 hours before the show, but that is how you get on the guaranteed list. All right. I don't know if y'all folks saw it, all right, but I posted on my Instagram as well as a few other folks. The cafe will be closed. The brick and mortar will be closed for the next couple weeks, all right? So the things that were usually going on have been canceled, have been put aside for a while. However, all the things online are still jumping off, all right? First off, women's orators, right? Of course, we know this person, the one and only Thunderlung, is coming up. This happens this Thursday, right? 2 hours or 3 hours, I believe, before the Thunderlung Thursday jumps off. Make sure you are plugging in with the New Eurekan to make sure you can get tickets for that. And right after that, it's Thunderlung Thursdays. You know what it is. Make sure you are plugging in. Also, Voices and Vibes is coming. However, all these things, right? The Friday Night Slam has been canceled as well as Voices and Vibes. However, we are getting to it, and I just need to make sure that y'all see this, all right? Hosted by the one and only Paul Conqueso. This month's feature is going to be Janique. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Coming soon. All right. Tonight's list. Look at this beautiful list, y'all. Look at how many incredible mainstays have come to sell out another show. Got some color on the list. Got some new voices. Got some folks that we can yell at. Let's see. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Always great to see all you beautiful folks. Oh, my goodness. Listen, you know what it is. You know what we're about to do. Let's get to it. I will post the list in the chat. Starting off tonight, right? Our leadoff hitter this evening. Excuse me. This gentleman, I love when this cat comes through because his energy is always his. It's uniquely his. I don't think I've ever heard him in the leadoff spot, but I guarantee he's going to make contact and put the ball in play. The one and only Alexander Goldberg in the building. Unmute yourself. You know what it is, man. Let the folks know where they can find you. Set it off in here, Goldberg. Come on.
Yeah, find me online, Gorbensky on Instagram, Alexander Goldberg 35 on Facebook. So, consumption of delicious and abundant food has been one of the basic desires and pleasures of the people. However, it's not accessible to everyone, which brings inequality. The poem that I'm presenting tonight is about a man who wrote a new cookbook. So the title of my poem is New Cookbook. Our food has a flavor, our food has a taste, and we have convinced of it most guests and friends. There's no need to talk about stereotypes. There could be a good thing, there could be surprise. Most people are interested and they admire. They open establishments, they have desire to learn more and more as they listen to news. We got a great feedback, we got great reviews. Our friends in gastronomy bought circulation. Book went to the people at the presentation. Reviews came from those we did not know before. Some bought it online, others bought at the store. There were many things they did not know about. No mysteries there, but it's nice to find out. We thank all the people who rated and bought. Our audience giving us the max support. I did get a chance to speak to many guests. The taste of food shocked them in positive sense. They said, your cuisine can compete in the world. More stories of it should be written and told. And viewers reacted to blogs we were launching that said it's fantastic. They said it's exciting. We hope for support from the opinion leaders. Now, thousands of people are willing to see us. And it was one thing that I could never plan. Now my book is selling in France and Japan. I eat just like Mozart. He liked many dishes, but he had the people surprised by his wishes. My favorite food, I can eat any hour, are dumplings that are seasoned with cauliflower. Instead of the battles, instead of invading, help those who are starving. Then thank you for caring.
Oh my goodness. He said, help those who are starving. They might thank you. Unmute yourself. Give it up.
Voice of compassion.
Yeah.
Alexander.
Speak that truth.
Help those who are starving. Oh, I love it, man.
Go Bird.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for setting it off like that, for starting us off with a bonfire that we will continue to build throughout the night. Listen, he said, I eat just like Mozart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right? Listen, Mozart didn't just eat food. That dude ate music. That dude ate music notes. That dude might as well have eaten paper because all that dude regurgitated was music. Ah, love that, Goldberg. Love that. Thank you for setting us off this evening. Listen, we are in progress, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the Starship has left the building. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, this gentleman. Listen, this gentleman shared his family with us last week. Thank you, by the way, for sharing your beautiful babies with the community. This gentleman, again, I will say, had the coolest background in the world for having the baby, doing his baby thing. This dude has been a mainstay of our community for so long. It's so great to get his voice back in the space. The one and only Rich Daddy Glennon back in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Rich. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Great to see you. Great to hear you. Great to hear everybody. Rich Glennon on Tumblr and Instagram. I'll jump right in. Okay, this first one I wrote during the pandemic. Well, it's not that it's in the past or anything. It's called Day Tripping Parents During Pandemic. Okay, Day Tripping Parents During Pandemic. We took a drive to Cold Spring, but we didn't get out of the car because there were too many people walking around. It's a small town, so it doesn't take much to make it crowded. Hal parked on the main street and we looked around for a little and then we drove home. On the way back, we stopped for a bite because we found a place that seemed empty enough. The food was nothing special. For those prices, we wish we were part of the crowd that wasn't there. A little insight into what my parents were up to during the pandemic. This one is called Tip. I was prepared for the rewarding feeling as the kitchen floor appeared with each gathered plastic bag of fast food trash and diaper shit. But I was not prepared for the bonus foot of rainwater in the garbage can outside, begging to be tipped over and pave a shaded path, plucked like a grape from a far off park, filled with flashing lights, because two crones disappeared into a hole where their bench once was. And this last one is called Under a Light Fixture, and this is for Allie, my wife. Tonight, the light above our bed is a grease stain on the brown paper ceiling. from the French fries upstairs, lying directly above us, which makes us, my love, the bonus fries that snuck out into the bigger bag, reclined on our mattress of a chicken nuggets box, away from the crowd and their fast food lifestyles. Thank you.
Rich Glennon does it again. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Rich Glennon.
Yeah,
So
Rich.
subtle, you know, that last one
Yeah.
was so
Love
romantic.
that last one. That was cool. That was
Great
good.
job. Just wonderful.
Hella
No,
props.
I truly love when folks bring their whole world into the space, right? Shout out Allie. Thank you for supporting our valued member of Rich Glennon. Listen, I love all the spaces that you went to on that, right? The grease stain, the from the French fries upstairs, like, come on, man. The first poem, though, really, like, I think everyone can relate to that in some sense, right? You drove all the way there, but you didn't get out of the car. Like that just blew me away, right? Like so many people, it's like it's too many people. Never mind, we'll just call it sightseeing, and we're out of here. I love that, and again, shout out to the missus for all that she does to support you, and that you do for supporting her. Make sure you are plugging in to Rich Glennon and his beautiful family. All right, appreciate you, Rich. Coming up next, listen, it's been a while since we got a chance to hear this next poet, but I am so glad that he continues to plug in with us. Really, the one and only Professor Platinum is in the building. Doug Silver, unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online and connect with your incredible works. It is always great to see you, sir. Take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It's great to see you and hear you and all the poets, as always, of course. I have two pieces tonight. They're both on theme. They're poems I wrote years ago. This first one's called Flavors. It's when I smell chili garlic sauce with soy sauce, or fish sauce and cilantro, or coconut milk with cumin, coriander, and turmeric, that I remember you. So many scents you introduced me to, so many flavors and spices I would not have known without you. You pulled me out of the home I couldn't have left without you. I wouldn't have left without you. And then when you left too, on my own again, I couldn't go back to from where I came, had to keep on keeping on, as they say, for new flavors, for new spices. I never thanked you then for all of this. I thank you now for all of this. And this next one's called Peanuts. It's when I'm eating peanuts with you, my love, and you're throwing the empty shells back into the full bowl, that I remember you, my brother. We would sit, you and I, on the well-worn wooden bench in front of our small town's general store, eating peanuts in the shell, salty, oily, burnt, from the brown paper bag between us. And after engulfing the peanuts and, of course, their papery skins, throwing the empty shells back into the bag. We must have known as time went on, mathematically speaking, that this would make each new peanut fully shelled a more and more impossible discovery, like buried treasure for an archaeologist, artifacts, rocks, and bones. And then, as we're digging for the final few and maybe the last one, not in competition, not quite yet, but in silent congratulations, a tiny car pulling up right in front of us, but too short to block the view of our way home. Both of us laughing, saying to each other, "That's a tiny car." And after a pause, the driver gets out and says, "It's not a little car, it's a large roller skate." And we, you and I, my brother, laughing so hard for so long, we forget about that last, or maybe that next to last peanut, hiding in the brown oil-stained paper bag among all those empty shells, and we forget everything. Well, almost everything. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Come on, y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Doug
Yeah,
Silver.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Props, dude. That was
Thank
awesome.
everybody.
Beautifully written.
Good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
As always, my good sir, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen, that cat said it's not a car, it's a large roller skate. Come on, man. Like, I love that. Listen, your first poem, you said keep on keeping on for new flavors. I love that, Doug Silver, because that is indicative to what we do here, right? We keep on keeping on for new flavors or new voices, right? Or new energy that we continue to find and bring in this space, right? The second poem, Those Peanuts. Oh my gosh. Listen, I've never heard peanuts and archaeologists mentioned in the same space, but you did that, Doug, for real. Buried treasure for an archaeologist in a peanut bag? Come on, man. Love it, taking it all the way there. Make sure you're plugging in with Professor Platinum, a mainstay of our community. All right, coming up next, listen, my apologies to this legend, right? This gentleman was supposed to come next, but it was my mistake. However, I'm, officially my apologies, sir, but let me tell you, we will always make space for this legend, right? I like to call him Mr. Lighthouse Writers. Listen, I believe, and I've said this before, I believe this cat is part blacksmith because his pen stays so sharp. The one and only Michael Sindler. Unmute yourself, sir. It's always great to hear you and see you. Floor is yours. Take it away.
It is always fantastic to be here. And as always, so many great things. Great start off there, Mr. Gutenberg. And I will immediately put out the word lighthousewriters.org. Such a wonderful place. I'm very excited. I just signed up for a 8-week poetry class and also a one-day thing with two of my very favorite instructors there, which is saying a lot because they got so many people who are really, really just at the top of their game. Last week, for the start of International Women's History Month, I did a couple of pieces. And one of them, well, they were about the influences on me very early, and this is also in that same vein, and it's called Mothers. My mother washed and reused tinfoil because that is what her mother did. Her mother cooked all kinds of food. My mother cooked all kinds of food her mother would never allow. My mother didn't have two sets of dishes, two separate sets of pots and pans. My mother didn't keep her kitchen kosher, didn't do things the way her mother did. But she used many of the things she learned watching her mother labor at the stove, cooking with thrift and skill and love. My mother served many of those dishes her mother made in that simple kitchen in the heart of the Depression when it took all she had to keep a family fed. Later, when her mother came to dinner, she basked in the older woman's praise, a dutiful daughter despite the differences. My mother saved more than tinfoil. She saved a kitchen full of love and joy that her mother had bestowed upon her, and a bit of that was carried down to me in every kitchen I have called my own. And, there is so much woman shaming going on these days, and obviously it is just so full of it. And this is a haiku sonnet, and it's called Walk of Shame. She don't buy into your walk of shame because she ain't ashamed of nothing. She don't give a fuck what the neighbors are saying. They're just jealous punks. If you can't get that she's living her own best life, what is your problem? You know you'd trade your whole week for her night if you stop caring about wrong and right. Okay, thank you very much.
Tell him you trade your whole week for her night. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Michael, it's good seeing you, brother, as always.
Always
Yeah,
great.
fantastic. That's
Every
Oh, I
time.
love it.
me. You always have
Love
that
it.
beautiful
always great.
writing.
Good.
Am ashamed of nothing.
He brings me
Okay.
back to the memories, man. Like I could feel his memories when he spits, dude.
Ah,
I
nice.
told you, right? Tell him, Thomas. We're gonna hear from that cat
Yeah.
in a little bit. Tell him, Thomas, for real. And I told y'all that's why I believe this cat is part blacksmith, right? Every week he's coming through. His pen is sharp. I'm surprised that his paper isn't screaming and yelling because you continue to tear it because your pen is so damn sharp. But we appreciate you for doing what you do, Michael Sindler, because you are the only one Michael Sindler. Listen, I love what you said about, you said my mom recycled foil. Man, listen, there's something about coming up when you have to do those things, right? And I saw a couple of other folks, right? It said cooking with thrift and skill and love. Oh my goodness, come on, folks, right? That is what makes a childhood worth remembering, right? You may not have all the fast food bags and the ice cream truck every time it comes through, right? But when your parents do what you do, or your parent, however you look at it, I'm a product of a single parent home. When all those things happen, it's like, all of that makes it worth it, right? She ain't shamed nothing. Oh man, thank you, Michael Sindler. Again, Mr. Lighthouse Writers, always coming through, a mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with lighthousewriters.org. All right, coming up next, this poet has got books on books on books, continues to be a mainstay of our community. Usually Mama Lee is in striking distance. Hey, Mama Lee, hope everything is good. The one and only Tara Lee in the building. Always great to hear your voice, Tara. Let the folks know how they can connect to all your incredible work. Floor is yours.
Hey everybody. Yes, Mama Lee says hi. She's right around the corner. But I am Tara Lee. I am a poet and editor from Chesapeake, Virginia. And here's my stuff right here. You can find me at taralee.com. That is TERRALAIGH.com. Once again, TERRALAIGH.com. And I'll put all of that in the chat for you guys with my books. So the theme, I saw the word season and seasoning, and I went back to that time my brother tried to season a cast iron pot. And that helped me to write this first poem, Cast Iron. I am not ready for the full weight of my responsibilities. So God seasons me. He greases me in holy oil, turns on the stove. He wipes me clean, then lets me cook on my own. The smoke of my troubles escapes from my nostrils and my throat. People's eyes water at just how much pain can come from one person. Honestly, I can't take this heat anymore, but I know when he pulls me out, I'll be ready for my true intention. That's my first one. I got to snap for myself because when I hear it out loud, it sounds great. And then I'm going to read one that I probably read here before, but it's from my first book. This one is called Building. I've spent years trying to move into my own home. I didn't bother with realtors or blind dates looking from man to man. I was confident in myself. Some people let me tour their minds, graze my fingers along their fleshy walls, climb up the attic and peer through the window. Others stopped me at the door. And when I found the home with all the unicorns and rainbows, I knew I had to put my bid in. I paid with attention, tender words and caring gifts, but the results were always the same. No new home. And I questioned why, when these hands brought no harm and my fire was strong enough to heat the whole structure. It's just, nobody told me that humans weren't meant to be the four walls I sleep in every night. And they aren't supposed to hold my life in their hands because they don't truly understand the great responsibility that comes with caring for another. And someone always ends up with new bruises and gashes or homeless the next day. While praying for God's direction, I didn't realize that only these hands truly know how to care for and protect my soul. Now I'm building my own home. Cement foundation, oak walls, and the person allowed to wander through will just be a maintenance man who helps keep everything running. Thank you, everybody.
Damn it, Tara, that's how you do it. Unmute yourself, give it up for Tara Lee.
Tara Lee, that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That
Amazing. Great
was
job.
Enjoy to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
truly enjoy to listen.
Oh, I want to hear more.
Right, Thomas? I mean, for real. Listen, coming back at you, Tara, coming back at you really quick. Tell me, real quick, coming back at you. Tell me the significance of the first poem that you wrote, right? Because you were talking about how God seasons me, right? Turns on the stove, let me cook on my own, right? And I love that and how you connected it to the cast iron and the seasoning. Tell me how that poem came together, Tara.
I think it's just the place that I am at in my life right now. There's a lot of reworking and self-care and that next step in life. And I think there's this breakthrough that's happening, and that I can only get there with a little bit more seasoning and like a little bit more work with God's part. Yeah.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Tara. Appreciate you. Listen, a mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging into Tara and all they do. Again, shout out to Mama Lee. Listen, she said I paid with attention. Oh my goodness. She also said humans weren't supposed to be the four walls I sleep in every night. You know, we have a way of putting people in spaces they shouldn't be. Keep those things in mind, folks, when you're talking about seasoning your life. She put it on a cast iron. Beautiful, Tara. Make sure you're plugging in with Tara Lee. All right, coming up next. Listen, and I said this recently, I have to officially apologize to this poet. Some of you folks may know, some of you folks may not know. I recently released a highlight reel from last week, right? And I tried to make sure that everyone was represented the correct way, but I forgot to tag one poet. And I have to apologize to you because you are a mainstay of our community and you plugged in so many different ways. I will make sure that the next highlight reel is not without said mistake. The one and only Mara Lee Johnson, please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I didn't notice anything wrong about the reel. I just thought it was really neat. So I'm going to read two poems tonight. The first one is also borrowing a form from one of our community members. Generalissimo Brian Franco invented the tanka, which is sort of like a long haiku. It's 5 lines, 5 syllables, 7, 5, 7, 7. Not hungry, but I snack. I'm ashamed. My diet suffers. Breakfast was healthy. Hot cereal, fruit. There are so many who starve. And this is my last one. People trying to put me in a box, check it off. But in reality, I'm me, let me be. I'm trying to actualize and fly, stretching high. There's just no saying what comes next in my quest. People trying to put me in a box, check it off. It's hard to breathe creatively. And in the day-to-day same way, judgment rears its head, just put it all to bed. People trying to put me in a box, check it off. You think I'm shy and therefore lied, and haven't told I can be bold. Let me show by my example. Here's a sample. I hold this truth to be evident, that I am free to be who I am. This declaration is an emancipation from your expectation. Well, unless you expect good things and a bit of variety, then by all means keep doing it. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest.
So I don't know what just happened, if we just saw the birth of a new star or what the hell we just experienced. But ladies and gentlemen, unmute yourself, give it up for
That was insane.
Merrily. That was
Oh,
awesome. Yeah.
oh, that, oh, oh, you can
That was a
rap.
beautiful
Like,
surprise.
oh,
Thank
that was
you.
a beautiful surprise. I'm Kanto for sure. Oh, Mary Lee, thank you so much for that. That made my night, man. I got a smile, shitty grin on my face now.
Oh, come on, shitty grin. Listen, that is how you do it, Marilee. I think we've been hearing you for quite some time, and that shit just came out of somewhere else. Listen, that shit had a whole bop to it. I don't know. People trying to put me in the box, shake it off. Listen, I don't know if you in the business of writing hooks, right? But listen, that one might come off like a #1 hit. I'm just saying, Marilee, check yourself. Woo! She said, in reality, I mean, let me be. Woo! Come on, Marilee. Oh my goodness. I don't know, Marilee. I might lead you into another game, right? Your poetry game is hard, but listen, that might be some #1 shit right there. Oh, I was not expecting that, Marilee. Oh my goodness. Make sure you're plugging in to Marilee Johnson, a mainstay of our community. Whew. All right. Let me shout out a couple of folks before we get to what's coming next. Actually, you know what? I'll wait till we get to this next mind fuckery that we're about to experience. So what we're about to experience next is another collaboration between incredible minds. And this is what I love about this space, is from what I understand, people from two different parts of the world have come together, not knowing each other before this space, but have found a connection through our creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what community is about when we can experience something like this. All right. So I will ask both of these gentlemen to unmute themselves. The one and only, the Magus Gustav Solace is in the building with all his gusto, and he is gonna be collaborating with the openest of minds, Thomas Open Minds. Make sure you're plugging into him and Catalyst, their open mic. Listen. I tell y'all every week, make sure your medulla is strapped on tight, because they're about to oblongata. Gentlemen, take it away.
All right, hey, before we start off, man, I just want to say, yeah, we do a open mic every Friday night, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I put the Zoom on there. I got our link tree on there, the IG on there. This Friday, we got something special going on. Someone we all love and enjoy has just became an honorary member of the Garage Poets, and they will be hosting an open mic every second Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So this Friday, we're only doing 1 hour open mic. We'll do one poem each, and then after an hour, we're all gonna migrate over and show much love to Shocky G as they host their first open mic with the Garage Poets. So this Friday is going to be a very special. It's almost like a special feature, but we're going to be featuring Shocky as a host. on their own platform. So yeah, y'all look forward to that, man, and show up an hour early for the writing exercises always, man. We like to, do a little writing before the show starts. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Megas now to do a little promo and introduce this poem we got for y'all.
Okay, I'm Magus801, Magus 801 on Instagram, and this is Exorcising the Fungi.
The priest arrived with holy book in hand to rid the man of demons he thought were grand. But little did he know, inside the man were mushrooms that unlocked the cosmic plan. The priest spoke in hollow words, for they were all he knew. But little did he know, they just wouldn't do. The man had found a power deep from within. Slowly he had broken away free from the sin.
Do you hear voices? Are you possessed of demons as yet unnamed? Are you defenseless against hellspawn? God refrained from reaching out, for your incubi and succubi have total dominion. That, I am sad to report, is my expert exorcist opinion. Only the power of the Lord through me can these spirits banish. For a small fee, I will make these devilish visions vanish.
There's such strange thoughts to flicker in my mind. These incandescent visions dance before my eyes. Am I possessed by spirits unkind? Or have I just swallowed some strange surprise? I hear voices that are not mine. I see sights that cannot be real. My senses are overthrown, and I cannot trust what I feel.
You are right not to trust these sensations. These are demonic depredations. The power of Christ can save your soul. But first, the matter of my fee before you can be made whole. I am a willing servant of God, but I too must eat, though it seems odd that you must pay to be saved from demons and frights. I assure you, Jesus has you in his sights.
The priest tried to exorcise the demons within, but the man knew the truth, and he would not give in. The mushroom's power, a glimpse of the divine, unlocked the secrets beyond space and time. He saw through the lies of the priest's holy book, realized the power that the priest had mistook. The priest's words fell softly onto deaf ears, as the man laughed away all his fears.
The man knew better. His soul was not lost. He found the light within at no monetary cost. He thanked the priest for his time on his journey to perpetrate crime. The priest felt down with a heavy heart as the man's spirit soared to a new start. The demonic grip had finally loosened, and the man's mind was now fully opened.
The visions I see come straight from the divine. They have assured me that the demons you see are not mine. Your exorcist opinion, though expert it may be, it's not what I need now, for I am finally free. Feels like a trip, the likes you cannot know, and these demons you see are just a part of your show. Your fee might be small, but it's greed that drives you. Straight to the devil you crawl. I know this much is true.
Fine then, if my fee you will not pay. I did not come here to play. I came here to save your soul, to help you and make you whole. If you send me on my way, forever like this shall you stay. All your neighbors will you shun, as they will know the demons have won.
You come to me with promises of salvation, yet you're the one who deserves damnation. Your greed and hunger for wealth and power are the true demons that make you cower. You claim to hear the voice of God, but all I see is a charlatan's facade. Your deceit and lies will never prevail, for in the end, your true self will unveil.
The man realized the demons were but a lie. His soul was now free to grow and to fly. The priest, consumed by greed and fear, had lost the truth. It now was clear. In the end of this tale, it was the man who won, for he found the power of the soul and the sun. The priest was left behind, lost in the dust, for he's just a man consumed by his lust. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I also wanted to shout out to S. Ray Jane because I believe she'll be there Friday featuring for Shocky G. So big shout outs to Ray Jane too, man.
Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a second to catch your breath.
Ooh,
That was
Give it up
phenomenal.
for Gusto and College
Yes.
Open Boy.
All of the
Yes.
theatrics and all of the realness, everything was dope.
that's how you
Opened
collaborate.
up the envelope, took it into
Yes.
theater and playwriting. That's poetry.
Yeah.
Take us to another level.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Yo, you heard the community, right? And I continue to say, first and foremost, thank you for both of you gentlemen for bringing that to Monday night and sharing it with our community. Both of your voices are incredible, right? Listen, if you're talking about exercising the fungi, right? You're bringing in mushrooms and all these things, right? Expert exorcist opinion. Listen, y'all just do things different, right? One of the one of my just the pieces that jumped out to me, you said, a willing servant of God, but I must eat. I too must eat. Damn it. I love how y'all do what you do, right? And I want both of you to know that you're beautifully unique. We love both of your voices. And listen, you're mainstays for a reason. Thank you for always bringing the hype, bringing the energy, bringing the gusto, making sure people have their minds open, right? Make sure you're plugging into Gustav Silas and Thomas Open Minds and all the things they do. Woo! Listen, let me shout out a couple folks before we move on. I did see Darkman Blues was in the building. Shout out Samuel Raines. Make sure you're plugging in with that cat. Mia Aguilera is in the building. Always good to see Mia. Holly Googe. Oh, it's been a minute, Holly. Don't make me yell at you. Been a minute. Always good to see you. Baba Ngoma is in the building. If you don't know Ngoma, make sure you're plugging in with that cat. He is incredible in so many different ways. Kyle S., I did see him in the building. Appreciate you for hanging out with us this evening. The Jedi Master Paul Skiff is in the building. Listen, if you don't know the Jedi Master, listen, learn about the Force, right? The metachlorian count in that dude is impeccable. It's ridiculous. Also, shout out Mary Burgos, who's watching on YouTube, and Dasso Monster watching on YouTube. Truly, truly appreciate y'all for coming out and sharing your Monday night with us. All right, coming up next, folks. Listen, we are getting into a part of the show that's about to get bananas. And listen, to start it off, here we come. Here we go, right? The party starter, the one and only, right? I love when this poet comes through because, again, their unique voice is always just so much them, right? The party starter has arrived, the one and only Liz Minette. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, Liz. Floor is yours.
Great to see you too, Elemental and everybody. Let's see here. Right. Posted my Facebook link there. I just have a short piece regarding flavor. Cumin infused baked chicken Saturday late afternoon with broccoli steaming like a soft forest on the stove, and gin and peaches spinning in the blender like a mad dancer orange skirt. Barbecued kebabs on the grill. I take a picture of them, post it to social. My cousin by marriage tells me I'm one of her favorite relatives. Roma tomatoes, the garden, become marinara on the stove. Olive oil, red onion, fresh garden oregano, and marjoram. The sauce slow cooks all afternoon. So much the aroma becomes the front yard, infuses itself back into the earth. Come on over. I've got food. I'll make you something.
Gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Did y'all hear what she said? Unmute yourself,
I
give
got
it up.
supper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Liz.
Oh,
Nice.
Take
cook
you
me
up
a
on that.
dinner. That yo, you just made me hungry. I'm
Okay,
so hungry.
okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Liz, I'm coming back at you really quick once I say this. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of what people consider soul food, right? And I'm coming at you, Liz, because I want to know a little bit more insight on this line. You said, so much the aroma becomes my front yard. Oh my goodness. Wait. Where'd you go, Liz? Where'd you go? There'd you go. There you are. Liz, please tell me more about that line, please.
Okay. I make marinara every summer, Roma tomatoes and everything, and it just cooks all day in my kitchen. That the aroma is, if I'm out in my front yard, I can smell it. So the aroma becomes my front yard when it just deep cooks all afternoon long. I love it.
Oh my goodness. There's something about that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you. Listen, it's something about that, right? When you pull up to your family's house, to your people's house, right? And as soon as you step out the car,
Yeah.
all of that beautiful smell and taste and flavor smacks you in the face, right? So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, that is home, right? Because it's only in those spaces where you smell it like that, where it captures you like that. Thank you, Liz. I love that 100%. She said it becomes our front yard. I love that. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. A mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with Liz Minette. All right. Excuse me. Coming up next. Listen, this poet continues to bring all of her energy to our space, right? Even taking it to IG and burning up the interwebs in different ways, right? I love when this poet comes through, whether they are vexed or whether they are happy, it doesn't matter. Vexed Lex is always on point. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can plug into all of your incredible work. Lex, it's always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It's great to be here as always. Love your energy, love the space. You guys can follow me on Instagram at VexLex Poetry. Got some interesting things in the works, so plug in. This piece is short but vexed. It's interesting that this topic kind of brought out a vexed piece, so we'll just go with it. It's called A Flavor's Taste. You call her spicy, but still wince when she burns you. Guzzle down some milk to lessen her intensity, because she is indeed a mouthful. You wonder if you should try to adjust to it, but come to the conclusion that she should earn you. You call her hot, but she backs away since you're the one missing a few degrees. She is in charge of her temperature and will not let you climate control her. You mock her for having standards that you cannot live up to. She's never been the type to go down easily. She's not your typical seasoning, so no matter what reasoning you may use to peruse the chapters of her cookbook, remember that she is a required taste. Thank you.
Okay, peruse the chapters of her cookbook. You better come on, Lex. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Vex.
Yes.
Great job,
Love
Lex.
lines. She's an acquired taste.
Yay.
Great job.
Just made everything just
Yes.
come together like that. That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
get it, girl.
Nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Remember that she's an acquired taste. Nice.
Yeah, right. Right.
Fly
Right.
high.
Right. Definitely an acquired taste. Like, I love that shit. Like, come on, Lex. You said it was a bit vexed, right? Listen, the first line of what Lex said, she said, you call her spicy, but still wince when she burns. Come on, Lex. Come on. You ordered extra spicy and now you crying because it's bringing tears to your eyes. Like, recognize what you're doing here. You know what I mean? Thank you, Lex. We always appreciate your voice, right? He said, you're the one that's missing a few degrees. God damn it, right? Turn up your heat before you talk to an inferno. Appreciate you, Lex, for coming through with all that fire. Woo! Make sure you're plugging into Vex Lex. Damn it. All right, y'all. This is your official captain's warning. Shit is about to get turbulent. All right. One of the storm forces in the building. And this next section of the list, again, it's about to get turbulent. So coming up next is the incredible host of the New Eurekan Thursday night online open mic, AKA Thunder Lung Thursdays. Listen, I get to yell at this poet because I have not been able to introduce this poet. I can't remember in the last time, right? Listen, there are poets in our community that do multiple things. There are poets that have superpowers. And then there are poets that are just heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, this poet is one of those folks. She will not only save your poetry life, but she'll probably save your natural life. The one and only Thunder Lung in the building. Ray Jane is in the house. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online and plug into all the things you do. Great to see you, Queen. Take it away.
Greetings, friends. I am so excited to be with you guys on the Monday night online open mic. Shout out to the best host in the universe. Look, he got the space behind him. I mean, it's not me, it's him. You know what I'm saying? Elemental, you are doing your thing. We appreciate you here in this community. Thank you for being the ball of energy and positive energy at that you are. Right, you make this space. So yeah, you know, I had to come through and share. You making the space all fly and stuff. I'm not gonna come through and try to share. So as he mentioned, I am the Thursday night online open mic host. So if you didn't get enough here or you need a little extra love there, come through 9 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. Y'all could catch us. Sign up is 24 hours ahead of time. Same rules here. So if we spitting on 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, we signing up 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Y'all got it at the newyourekan.org, full events calendar, artist ticket. Y'all already know how to do this. Just come through. If you forget, we got the good luck round, so you could definitely get on that. As the brother mentioned, I'm quite busy and blessed to be busy. Okay, so Women Orator Wednesdays has its special edition of writing workshops every Wednesday this month for the new year. And I am starting us off. All right. So that means actually Thursday, March 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. You could come through and write with us. I think they're charging $15, but really it's every bit of money going to making sure that the bricks that house, you know, our safe space is taken care of. So come through if you want to share with us. I put all the rest of the stuff in the chat. I don't want to take up too much time because I'm here to hear y'all, right? And I appreciate you for letting yourselves hear me. So I wrote to the prompt. So this is some new shit. I wrote this today. I hope you could feel it. Vex, shout out to you. This one's a little Vex too. All right, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. It's not very happy, but I hope you like it. It's entitled A Meal Coursework. My pot been cast the iron, caked with generations of seasoned spice is the least of me. My course is coarse with the first lessons untaught. Ask my granddad would say from me bon, me dedea. Me priced before I was bought. If I cared to make my recipe legible, take the sweet cakes hidden in my cheeks off my tongue and say my name nice. So it slides past the blades in my throat, I'd bet Bull Connor's canines would never make it past mine. I got at least 4 generations in my back teeth. Need a machete to pick out what lies beneath. I, too, translate me into something palatable. First sprinkle God into your DNA. The poisoners won't tell you that mine spells Yahweh when spoke right back before bespoke broke the yoke with the black mold, the weight of which probably resembles several of my folk, right? Truth be told, Lilith probably had cornrows, right? But that's for another poem. Somebody just as brown and misunderstood taught me to put rice in mine. Travel with full meals across the railroad tracks, granny, and the possibility of death on the highway gave me a taste for cold fried chicken eaten beside ditches we preferred not to make our graves. Poor chefs tried to make me believe full bellies remain a convenience for the untrodden. The rest of us dragging our empty bellies to broken pots called promises. Barely grasping ancient ways these days. Ashamed to say I have forgotten the earth's name, so when I feed myself dirt, I hope not to taste the shit, or at least that's what I've told us to believe. Their cookbooks just as ill-measured as history. If you gon' review what makes me, skip the bland shit and get to the meat. Whatever you do, don't forget the scotchy. That's a scotch bonnet, since I agreed to metaphrase. You got to add extra browning for me, please. Gon' need several dried bay leaves. No woman, no I, no cry when my ingredients are this dense and refuse to die. Once mistaken for gumbo, my mix is southern and soiled by a white man by the name of Hanberry. Whipped peach snaps into my skin. Since then, we replaced it with Uncle Nearest, since Jack Daniels stole the shine out our moon. Hence why my grandmama and her kin got a little caramel to their hue, but my chocolates stay sufficiently melanated. American ingredients only require 1 drop of the truth, so stir my shit with a silver spoon too. Keep the vamps out my blood while you at it. More garlic powder than you started with. Auntie Tab told me that's my business. I've earned the right to be salty. My people overripe for what's due and still starving, so make my reparations play the double. Wrap what you still owe us in foil for later, cause I'ma still be hungry, overdue. Been time for the feed to be fed. Funny how some of you won't get the irony in this. My flesh been prepared for incisors that could afford me America's secret delicacy, especially the sick ones. Yum. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ray J.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Nothing
That
else.
joint was lit. That joint was lit. It was
Yo,
fire.
you melted my
Fire.
PC. It is
Yeah.
dripping
I'm
onto
telling
the
you.
floor right
Fire.
now.
Everything was in there.
Yes.
Nice
Wow.
work.
Right for
Nice
So
work.
fire.
Hot,
Oh my
burning,
God.
burning hot.
Yo, you
I didn't
melted my
understand
clock.
how many were in the chamber.
You
Like
melted
they just kept
time.
popping off. I was
Yeah.
like, yo. RJ.
Okay. Okay. Real quick. Damn it, Ray. Listen, if you are not familiar with the Queen Ray Jane, this is what Thunder Lung does. And listen, there's so many things, but I in honor of Women's History Month, for what the Queen just did, I want to unmute a few ladies, and I want you all to tell me what you felt about what Ray J just did. First off, Mia Aguilera, please let the folks know, let Ray J know what she just did, please.
You know, if you've heard, or if you've been a part of this community for a while, then you've heard Ray Jane, but each time she starts, it is just like, boom, you're in it. And just the metaphors that she uses when her poetry is on theme. It's just a one after another. Just one of the dopest poets that I've ever heard.
Listen, I couldn't say it better myself. Thank you, Mia. Holly Googe, coming at you. Please, same question. Tell the community and Ray Jane what the hell we just experienced.
I feel like I went to church, walked through history. I was in the kitchen. I felt the ancestral energy. Like it was just so cohesive and so dynamic. And I still want more. So I'm sitting here like, but it was just phenomenal. Like I'm still digesting. It was phenomenal.
Thank you, Holly. Can't wait to hear you soon. Coming at you, MJ Blackwell. Tell the folks how you feel about what Ray Jane just did.
First and foremost, before I even get into the body of the work, I appreciate RJ just as a person. Like she's just really dope, really sweet, always encouraging, always has a kind word for every single poet. So just in and of itself, aside from what she just spent, I love you so much. I see you and I love you so much, and I appreciate you for the healer that you are. So I wanted to say that. With regard to what she spit, what I love about RJ is that the way that she's able to weave so many things, right? So if you paid attention, and particularly if you're a chef, right? Or if you're a cook, you pay attention to how she laced in some of the ingredients, and these are cultural ingredients, references to browning and Scotch bonnet peppers. Like she came with the heat and with the flavor, right? So you were able to see that. But then if you also paid attention, she made references to Auntie Tab saying, that's my business. So if you follow Tabitha Brown, you caught the references there as well. So she's just really clever and really cultural and very intentional. And so I just feel inspired, and I'm grateful to be able to share space with her whenever I can.
Listen. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, MJ, for all of your insight, for letting Ray Jane know how she impacts, how she influences our community. Listen, Ray Jane is a healer in multiple ways. Make sure you are plugging in with Thunder Lung and Thunder Lung Thursdays. All right, two different things. Make sure you're plugging in with Ray, and make sure you are plugging into Thunder Lung Thursdays. Thank you, ladies, for representing Women's History Month and for showing the community how we are all connected. I'm telling you, that 6 degrees of separation continues to go down and down and down every Monday night. All of you are so incredible. Thank you for taking the time and spending the time with us this evening. All right. Coming up next, I done told y'all this is the part of the show where shit gets kind of crazy. I did also see, listen, timing is impeccable. Where's that dude? Listen, Storm God's in the building, right? Paul Conquezo just jumped in, and we are getting to the other Storm God in the building. The atmosphere rearranger. This gentleman always changes the energy structure in the room. The one and only Zom Konto is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you and plug into all your incredible works, brother. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for that blessing. Ray Jane just kicked my lungs in with the realness, and I appreciate that. I wrote this today, and it goes something like this. Sometimes in the kitchen, I put too much spice to hide the bitter taste of my utter disgust with this world's sickness, which is its history. But since the world cannot be made any bearable with seasoning, and since these condiments themselves are made from the pulp of the same bitter roots that feed that hatred, I know one cannot simply grab the shakers and read their labels and that way expect to be told the absolute truth. And adding a bit more to just numb the tongue seems less of an evil than how the world spices up how our history truly went down. But if I could survive from just oxygen, I would have enough time to choose the forest whose air agrees with me and ignore those from which they hung my ancestors. And I would investigate every herb under the sun in case its leaves were found in plants growing from the potted herbs of that lay inside their skulls. Because the world stays putting flavor to our pain so that it tastes like bitterness. And we have also gotten addicted to numbing our own feelings. But my mother was an angel. She made meals that almost had you secure the tongue to the roof of the mouth in case you mistook it as part of the relish and only noticed the pain when you took a glass of water to wash it all down. And I cherish that for every meal missing an ingredient, the spice of life was to be found in its preparation, even when blood, sweat, and tears cannot be pounded into paprika and thyme. But in due time, we grew up and learned that some meals had made the deal with the devil, and what we had on our tables were toxins from the same roots whose trees tower over our ancestors' graves. And I'm told the people with whom the colonizers traded spices eventually had their tongues chopped off because their taste buds were portals to the gods, and that angels read the content of their prayers by prying their jaws open in their sleep and reading their tongues underneath the moonlight. A time long before brushes were brooms that erased the aftertaste of their gratitude for every syllable of food that grew from the ground like a poem, and the roots that were grounded into stanzas and metaphors long before they were called savage, and the people that robbed them escaped with their recipes. Thank you.
He said they escaped with their recipes. Unmute yourself. Give it up.
You wrote that today.
Oh
my God.
Great job.
Sir, yes, sir. We see you, Z. We
These are
see
poets
you.
who wrote these
We
things
see you.
today.
So I know he wrote this today. Like,
Come on.
oh my God.
Come on. Come on. Right? These are the people that I like to call paint slingers. Right? I used to do this a lot when I was writing poems for Monday night every week, right? And I would say, yo, this is new shit. The paint is still wet, right? So forgive me for slinging paint all over the screen. Listen, this is what happens when you get creative beings in the space with something that they can really sink their teeth into. You're going to get paint all over the screen, right? As much as you folks may not necessarily connect, or if you do or not, connect with graffiti writers, all of you are graffiti writers. All of you. Because of the way that you do what you do, you really put color onto blank canvases. Sometimes those are people's minds. Sometimes those are people's perspectives. But you have to realize that you folks are astounding. You folks are so beautifully necessary. Damn it. I love all of y'all, but I'm biased. Right? But I love all of y'all because y'all are absolutely fucking phenomenal. Right? Speaking of phenomenal individuals, you know the folk that we love to call Mr. RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. The super tech of our business, right? The counterpart to Monday Night, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson. Unmute yourself, man. You know what it is. You know what we've come upon. Ron, come on, man. Take it away, please.
Thank you so much, Elemental. You have an amazing energy. I just love how we start Mondays here. You are super. I really want to give you the kudos, for this energy you're bringing to us, and for doing this for our community. Some people may do it for a paycheck. You don't. You do it because you love our community. You want to continue this wonderful open mic after almost 3 years. I know we're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary in a few weeks, so after 150 shows, here you are running this ship, making sure every Monday we're plugging in with you, and I hope we're going to get another 100 more. Thank you so much, Elemental. It is such a pleasure to be helping you out on the tech back end, with all the preps. And this dude, I'm going to always say this cat, like he always says, not only does he host, but all the preparations that he does to make sure that Mondays are okay, the highlight reel, which he now started, the social media posts, and he is also a flyer designer, designing the flyers, for example, for Voices and Vibes. So hire him if you want to. You definitely will not be disappointed. I put his links in addition to the New Regan Poets Cafe's links in the chat. Also support us with donations, merchandise. It's all in the chat. Follow us on the live streams. Shout out to Holly Gooch. We haven't seen you in a few weeks. And MJ Blackwell. I'm glad I saw you, that you were watching us on Facebook and that you were asking for the Zoom link. I'm glad I was able to give it to you and you came, you were able to come back in. On that note, what I'm actually going to do for everyone here in Zoom, just as a reminder, we use the same Zoom meeting IDs for Mondays and different but same meeting IDs for every Thursday. Put them in your calendar so you don't miss any of our Mondays or Thursdays online open mics. Ray Chain, I'm so glad you came. So powerful, amazing. All right, a few things. I'm going to get to Ray Chain in a second again, but first, I do want to reiterate that unfortunately our cafe is closed this week and possibly next week as well, and it's a strange reason, it's because our heating and the AC is broken. We had a few open mics there last week. People were wearing their coats. It was cold inside the cafe. So unfortunately, we had to suspend all of our in-person programming. The Monday night on-site open mic, Wednesday Slam, Friday Slam, ASL Slam. And unfortunately, Voices and Vibes, Paul Congessa, I see you working out. Paul is going to give us some sad news, but he's going to follow with some good news. Paul, go ahead.
What's good, Know Your Poet Tribe? Glad to be with y'all. Thank you, RMT, for rocking with me. Killing it, my brother Elemental and Storm God and Goddess Row is doing its work. Sadly, unfortunately, the cafe is undergoing some emergency renovations. Well, not renovations, some emergency upgrades. And so they're going to be closed for the March 11th Voices and Vibes. Thus, we're going to have to move it to April. We are going to move about and just do it next month on the second Saturday, which is going to be Saturday, April 8th. It is going to be National Poetry Month. So if you have poems set to music and you want to come and rock out on the stage, if you have karaoke hits, if you have your own original independent music, you want to come see our feature, Janique Music. She's going to be rocking out with us. She's a phenomenal artist, a rapper, a singer, a dance hall artist. Y'all are not going to want to miss it. It's going to be great. We're going to have mini games that have prizes and drinks to be won, drink specials, all kind of beautiful foolery. So come and vibe out with the family at Voices and Vibes. Sadly, we won't be able to in March, but circumstances happen, things arise, and we handle it. The important thing is that the Nuyorican is handling it and thinking about the safety and the warmth of all attendees. So it's being done out of love and protection for the community. So I love all y'all. I hope I see you there in April, and keep killing it tonight, RMT and Elemental. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much, Paul. And this is actually great news. Yeah, National Poetry Month, because I actually had a few friends. They're like, we're not so much into karaoke, but we do poetry with music. Like I have a couple, she reads poetry and he plays the drums. So now I'm gonna call them right away, tomorrow. I'm like, hey, you gotta come, April 8th, second Saturday of the month. So thank you so much for those news, Paul. In the ticket system, yeah, unfortunately, we had to disable ticketing for this Saturday, but once the Saturday is over Sunday, we're going to re-enable it for the April 8th. So starting this Sunday, everyone in the audience, you may purchase your tickets in advance for April 8th, which is the second Saturday next next month. Thanks again, Paul. And I also want to reiterate, even though the in-person programming is suspended, we are still rocking out, our online programs, such as, what we're doing right now, the Monday night online open mic, and of course the Thursday night online open mic, which happens with, hosted by Ray Chain, Thursdays 9 p.m. And I'm going to unmute Ray Chain one more time, because Ray Chain already mentioned, and Elemental also showed you the flyer. The next 4 remaining Thursdays of this month, Women's History Month, the cafe will be offering workshops on Thursdays online and Zoom, 6 p.m. Eastern time, with 4 incredible women. This Thursday, it's Ray Chain. The following Thursday, next week, it's Finn Bell. Everybody knows her. And the last 2 weeks will be one of them, our executive director, LaBrua, and the other, Peggy Robles. Ray Chain, tell everyone for this Thursday, what is the theme and what have you planned for participants to learn and write with you?
So our theme is Ain't I a Woman? And so we're going to examine what it means to be a woman, who told us that, and really allow ourselves to define womanhood for ourselves in that space. And as always, using all types of artwork to do that, because prompts are in everything, right? So hopefully you come out and check us out. I'm honored to be amongst these wonderful and powerful women. And I hope that you can come and learn with us and we can grow and write together, because that's the aim.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Ray Chain. And I also want to reiterate to the community, even though it's a women's orators writing workshop and the focus will be in women, everyone is invited, whether you identify as a woman or as a man. So please come out, support the women. If you're a man, and if you're a woman or women identifying, support yourself. So thank you so much, Ray Chain. Everyone already may purchase tickets in our online ticketing system. I will put the link in the chat again, and come on out and learn with Ray Chain this Thursday, 6 p.m. And it's amazing. We're going to get to see Ray Chain twice on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time at the writing workshop, and then she's going to get a little break in between, middle dinner, a little bit, food and drinks, and then 9 p.m. She will be back for the online open mic, which I will tech assist in the background, Ray Chain, where we really look forward to this. And also one other program this month. This one will be at the cafe on Saturday, March 25th. By then, we really plan to have our heating and AC system fixed. We will let you know in case that changes, but as of now, it's still scheduled March 25th, a Revolutionary Tracks live radical open mic, and you see it on the flyer. We have New York State Senator Kristen Gonzalez, of course, our executive director LaBrua, and comedian Jake Flores. You already may purchase tickets for this event as well in our ticketing system. So come on through if you can make it. We really, really appreciate you. All right, I'm going to stop the screen share, and I now have the honor, if I'm not mistaken, of announcing our next collaboration. 2 collaborations in one night. Elemental, what are we doing here? This is just amazing. And you know what? I'm gonna put some feelers out here. Ray Chain's, even though Ray Chain's open mic is not only poetry on Thursdays, but we have comedy and music as well. We hadn't had too many of the collaborations on Thursdays. So everyone here on Monday, if you want to do a collaboration on Thursday, Ray Chain won't mind. We want to see some collaborations happening on Thursday as well. And it doesn't just have to be between 2, it can be 3. I think we've done, like a year or 2 years ago, we did one between 10 or 15 of us, though. So, I'm just putting some creative food for thought here for everyone. But now we're going to go to our next collaboration for tonight. I'm going to unmute you and spotlight you. So we have Roll James, a mainstay of our community here, and I want to make sure I unmute the next correct person, and we have Lantern Carrier all the way from the UK. Welcome, both of you. I'm gonna stop talking because I want to hear about you. The floor is all yours, gentlemen. Go ahead.
I'm gonna defer to my brother Lantern because he invited me into this. So Lantern, you want to set the stage?
Well, I put my details into the chat, so perhaps you can do yours afterwards. Up to you.
Yeah.
So I'll just start the show. It's a slightly different flavor. It's called A Taste of Love's Flavor. I was once starved by the bitter flavors of life. Blades all laced with limes, thorns, and stinging nettles, so painful that my scars became inseparable from my emotive states of grief, emptiness, and despair.
We are the shadows of the light's longing, the bittersweet embrace of fear's midnight, dancing amongst the stinging razors of thorns, a window into the source of life's scars. My grief veiled in despair of the unspoken as I sat distracted in a fictional loneliness.
There was a dearth of roses, the smiles and naivety of a child's prance. I was like a Chinese wok, laced with hot feminine spices, sprinkled with rum, transient passions, wind and fixes of smoke, hugging my gaze like fragmented ghosts.
Together, we are the tented kiss of pain inside the beauty of her intimate cry. My gaze was blinded by the sound of her silence. I derailed my purpose just for a moment, to bathe in her marinade of sugar and spice. I cowered in the shadows of her wilds down by the sugarcane grove of the moonlit night.
Little did I know that my adversaries came in the guise of pleasure, with me a lost night, basking in the cosmetics of vainglory. Locked in loneliness and fear, I knew only to hanker for appreciation, fell victim to the lure of expectations, leading from the aromas of sweet versus sour to emptiness and sorrow.
Is it better to have loved and lost than to stand within the divine of mystical nothingness? I am old and wrinkled with scattered memories of lust. Imagination bridges my presence to hope's brightest day. In the valley of like vanity exists a sorrow of emptiness that disguises the taste of love's flavor.
Fast cars, money, and delectable meals all haunted me in the culinary dishes at chandelier-styled restaurants, where Mozart was my company, Picasso and Da Vinci my bosom friends, in selected Spanish-Italian cuisines on regal trips around the world.
I'm a romantic vessel rooted in purity's elixir. The cleansing waters reminisce over my soul as a touchstone to the elements of the alchemist, guiding me through the golden maze of why. It spoke without words, recanting mythical tales of love, accompanied by Mozart's madness.
One day you came, quite unexpectedly, carrying the sweetness of mangoes, the tender loving spices that my mother once laced in love and sacrifice, dripping from the sanguine red of diligent blood vessels, gone weary from struggle. The cute gaze of concern was still there, now mixed with the flavor of empathy, gratitude, forgiveness, and the sweet nectar of compassion.
I have returned back to the swirling chaos. Lightning spark memories of my original home, climbing the trees of knowledge and ignorance. I gorged on the precious nectar of hanging fruits into a drunken stupor to protect my innocence.
Now my mind raced through the youthful joy of my sister's impeccable rice and peas, my brother's amazing oil-down breadfruit, mixing the turmeric of tomorrow's golden dawn. They smelled awesome, as they always did, even as I knew that you were lifting me to even dizzier heights of heavenly beauty. I'm no more encaged in the pungent flavors of mundane cravings, as yours is an innovative culinary, where virtues are the wine of the spirit, light glimmers from the jasmines of celestial nymphs, and music, unlike Mozart's, waltzes from the harps of supernal minstrels, all singing of the glories in my soul.
One day, my breath will return to the light like those before, to be released back into the gratitude of life's poetry. No longer trapped in the quicksand of my own guilt, I've climbed out of her beauty to the sunset of souls, to sit in fate's whisper, embracing the blessings of pain, drawing from the well of our own imagination.
I heard your bugle blow with the sage narrator beating the drums of heavenly victory. Your sapphire mantle unfurled across Andromeda like cherry blossoms, covering my nakedness with the feast of love's banquet. I felt inebriated, drunk with perennial wine, as my heart sung King Solomon's songs with the sweet melody of the Psalms of David.
We are guided by the unseen forces past the temple of want. As I poured my doubt of wine upon the valley of shadows, the dark, my conduit to the flame on this treacherous path, to phoenix from the depths to be the answer to my prayers. I venture back to the nakedness of the garden's banquet, souls in the promised victory on the edge of eternal time.
Souls in the psalmist's victory on the edge of eternal time. This has been Raw. I am James, and the voice of the lantern carrier. Thank you.
And thank you. And I'm going to ask everyone to unmute so they can thank you as well.
Thank you.
Wow. Any better than that?
Beautiful.
I don't think so.
Music.
That's
LC,
that's right there.
What a treat. What a treat.
Both of y'all styles just
I
meshed
wasn't
well.
ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready, man. I was not ready.
Perfectly.
And that mirrored
Yeah,
closing
the
line.
styles
That
match.
was sweet.
That's for sure. Yes.
I just want to thank Brother Lantern for inviting me into this. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
so
thank
much.
you, Brother Roll.
Thank you. That was fun. That was fun.
Great. Well, we enjoyed that. Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing, amazing. You set whoops, I just didn't realize I was off camera. Here we go. You set the bar high. We're gonna have more collabs coming up. In the next few weeks. Thank you so much, guys. This was super, super amazing. Oh, great Monday, great Monday. Love it, love it. Thank you, Elemental, for giving us those wonderful themes as well, and for keeping us together in the community. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Finn Bell. I didn't realize you were in the audience. I saw you in the chat. Finn Bell again will be leading the second class at the Women's Orators writing workshop next week. We'll hear more from her next week. So I'm glad you're with the community as well. But now we're gonna go to another mainstay in our community, Mr. Tess. And here is his most recent book. This is not his first book. I Am Not Your Chihuahua. Not only is he a poet and a storyteller, he also writes stage play scripts. He also does the cover art, which this is his, and he also plays the guitar. So you are just multi-talented in addition to your daytime work that you do. So Mr. Tess, please give us your Tess talk, as we say. So glad you're back here. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Ron. Very gracious of you, and thank you for supporting my work. Best way to do it. Everybody else is also welcome to support my work right here. Pick up your copy on Amazon. It's good to see MJ. She's been missing the screenwriting. No excuses. This came out of the Art Defined workshop we had this Sunday on Impossible World. So this is out of a workshop. And so the task was to create impossible worlds. So this is titled Speculative Fiction, and it's titled The Jobian Justice System. Incarceration on the Jobian moons for mankind, where justice reigns supreme and law is strict. The Galilean Jobian system, so vast and outshine, with 95 moons form a prison crypt. The earthly prisons no longer fit to hold, swollen with prisoners, no more room. New incarceration sought on moons so cold, Jupiter's system where inmates meet their doom. Never mind the cruelty nor the pain, the Jobian justice now reigns supreme, a chance for redemption for those detained on moons where new life may never be redeemed. Eos, volcanoes with sulfuric breath, Europa's icy surface, Ganymede's size, Callisto's craters, each an inmate's death. a system of cells, each with its own demise. And though these moons, mere specks in space scope, may seem insignificant, in truth they fourfold a power over those who fail to cope with the law and its strict, unforgiving mold. Thus, the Jobian justice system becomes a cage where society's unwanted pay for their wrongful rage. Juan, the activist, sent far from home for acting in rebellion. He will pay the price, his future on Jupiter now to strom on a moon of his own choosing. He pays for his vice. He could have picked Io with fire and smoke, or Europa's icy depths so cold, Ganymede's vastness he could invoke, or Callisto's craters with so many holes. Juan chose Europa with its frozen face, a chance for a new life, a new start. His sentence, a chance to find a new pace, to quell his ways and heal his heart. On Europa, Juan learns to bootstrap, to earn a life on a moon with its icy wrap. On Europa's surface, Juan found his new home, a ghetto moon where outcasts and exiles dwell, a place where prisoners and immigrants roam, a world where hope and freedom are hard to swell. Here, Juan met others who shared his fate, those who chose or were forced to stay. Together, they built a community to wait, despite the hardship and the icy way. They made their homes in caves and tunnels deep, where the warmth and safety could be found, and from the frozen crust they've often scrap heap the resources and the minerals they rock hound. Juan became a leader with the talent and skills, an activist who brought joy to his new kin. And even though their lives were hard and uphill, they found a new way of living to begin. So on Europa's surface, Juan found no strife, a ghetto moon where hope and resilience was true to life. In the Jobian justice space, ghetto borders reign, a process that controls the flow, maintains the circulation of all things day and night, continually redistributing with all its might, movement through and around it, around those within the borders, they thrive and survive in the Jobian modulated space where prisoners come to die.
Goodness, where prisoners come to die. Are you kidding me? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tezasova.
Oh yeah,
Great
great.
Tez.
Tesseract.
Right, you better go ahead.
Got a lot of great.
Marvel in the building, the Tesseract. We see you, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
Shit, what? Oh, that's a brand new one. Oh my
Tesseract.
goodness.
Ah, that was dope.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even get a chance to see who said that with the Tesseract. Oh my goodness. This dude is one. Was that MJ? Was that you, MJ? Ah, of course it was MJ. Of course it was MJ. Oh my goodness. Listen, Mr. Tez, usually I tell people he has a tendency to raise the IQ in the room. And that is exactly what he does. Listen, oh my gosh, swollen prisoners, there's no more room, right? Like there's no more room, right? You could do your own research on that, find out how many prisoners are in America, right? Compared to other countries. Like do your own research. Don't take his word for it, really. A system of cells, each with their own demise. Oh, woo! Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you have been privileged to our TES Talk. Now we are on the other side of our TES Talk. Make sure your brain is, make sure it's strapped back on tight. I am going to unmute everyone really quick to give it up for the one and only Ron Mark Thompson.
Yeah, Ron.
RMT, baby.
We love you. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for all your hard work. Get this thing run.
Go
I
techies.
appreciate you all.
Go
Thank you.
techies. Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Listen. I love to shout out people in our community who don't just come in who are not on the list, right? There are folks in our community who come and they share their energy. They bring their energy to Monday nights. And I really, truly can't thank you enough for that, right? For all the folks who are not necessarily on the list, but who come through and bring all of their power and presence to make Monday night a influential night and a fucking phenomenal evening. Y'all do that. Woo! Listen, this is, I really can't thank y'all enough for allowing me to be your host. Really, it is truly my pleasure, 100%, from top to bottom. Now, coming up next, this cat, oh my goodness, make the church say, God damn, because this next cat is about to do it. Listen, call it whatever you will, right? But this, listen, this is one of those cats, y'all. I told y'all this part of the lineup is what we do here. The one and only CP Mays. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can plug into every sermon that you deal with. Take it away, man. You know what to do.
What's good, everybody? Yeah, CP Mays. It's my IG. CP Mays at Facebook. Thank y'all for giving me the room to maneuver and feel comfortable as I do it. So here's a poem. Beirut. Tell me forever, how the fuck am I supposed to pick up my pissed off past when my past is passed out from picking fights with purgatory? Similarly strung out, half hangover from half pints of hallelujahs. I was born in between broken bourbon bottles and busted out brake lights. My dreams are as wild as my sex drive. My nightmares are as horrific as an ego's eviction notice when your heart's too broke to cover the nightmares that are in your safety deposit box. Mirrors whisper to me, I'm not your fault behind my back. I'm not sorry that up until now I failed at dying. I am that karma keep G-string stripping down to the French kiss of my own failure. I parade my soul around like it doesn't make nightly special guest appearances at pity parties hosted by myself, like it doesn't stay up late playing liquor in the front, poker in the back. Angry is the hospital I was born in. Devil, what the fuck you was the sport I was playing the first time I broke my arm. The second time I broke my angel's wing, it was in the same place. Everyone else was playing hide and go seek. I was playing Satan, hide heaven, and I'll go fucking fetch it to trunk. My boogeyman sleeps in boy-cut shorts and have a backside that can raise the dead. She knows the seat of my soul is composed of sober love letters held together by drunken scotch on the rocks tape. The sound of sangria whispering, where's your fucking pride? Maze rest. Y'all, the sound of me sleeping peacefully next to some pussy is the only love song I haven't been able to memorize yet. It's the reason why I can count the number of women I love on one hand. Here, if you sniff it, you can smell them all at once, the branches. They smell like coffee, and I like my coffee. I like my coffee the same way I like my women. French press steeping in heat till I'm ready to silky smooth sip sexy right out of the sweet coffee. Like I like my women, destined to spill everywhere down my throat when the roads get a little bit bumpy. I like my coffee the same way I like my women, strong with a good shot of whiskey in them. And I like my whiskey the same way I like my one-night stands. Not too cheap, with an ego that's not too expensive to leave. My catharsis can clear out the church pews. Madman metaphor mumbling kept the demons from seeing me coming. So pardon me, Pastor, but the scripture in my pulse needs to stand up and testify. I'm shit saved, showered, begged, borrowed, and broken brainstorms from Beelzebub, pitch tents and tenants because my rhetoric needed to cop rental property back to back hell and back to back too many times in one day. And the last day was the goddamn day I stepped out of hell and the ground got fucking lighter. Hey, pride. Sometimes I pick fights with myself. I lose on purpose for no other reason than to say, maids, fuck you. Hey, heartbeat. This isn't puppy love, y'all. I'm a pit bull off its leash. I'm an Ernest Hemingway quote. Never mistake motion for action, end quote. The forest for the trees. Lifetime. I'm trying to unravel lifelines via virtues and sins. Idiot savant with tattooed skin. I'm trying to be Stephen Hawking with the pen. Thank you, guys.
Ah, that's not fucking fair, idiot savant. Tattooed skin. This fucking guy. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CP, man.
Damn,
That
brother.
man had a lot on his chest.
Stephen
He had
Hawking
a
with
lot
the
on his
pen.
chest. Got it all off.
Yeah, yeah, the razor blade, the razor blade shave.
Come on, keep going.
Razor blade, that razor blade shave with.
Like,
Keep going. Keep going. The razor blade that the razor blade shave with. Keep going. Keep going.
Have y'all ever like written a poem or tried to read and you have to fight a sneeze in the middle? So your face is all messed up, right? Or my eye just kept watering. So I'm like trying to see the poem out of my left eye, and that's my bad eye. So I'm glad I got through it. I was trying to rub the eye on the cool and not cry. Like, so I'm glad I got through it. Yeah.
Just sang it to the end of the song. You're good.
Oh my goodness. Did you see how crazy, sexy, cool he pulled that off? Even though his left eye wasn't working, that cat was still crazy, sexy, cool with it. God damn. My dreams are as wild as my sex drive. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. He said, my boogeyman sleeps in boy shorts. Woo! I'm a pit bull off his leash. Come on, man. And you know what? You know what happens when you see a pit bull off his leash? Everybody start doing this, like, whose dog is that, man? Get your dog. Whose dog is that? Right? I love that. I love that, CP Babe. Oh, appreciate you for bringing all that energy this evening. He said, I'm an idiot savant with tattooed skin. Y'all heard that. Real quick, let me shout out a couple of folks because he may have just did that damn shit. May the church say, ah, damn. Real quick, shout out the daughter of Krypton, Finn Bell in the building. Ray Jane and Ron mentioned that they are going to be facilitating some women's orator workshops. Love to hear that. Make sure you're plugging in with the daughter of Krypton. Joan B from Canada is in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Nora Abdel, also Lawrence Chan in the building. Real quick, I did want to shout out because I got a message from some folks. Black Swan will not be in the building, but we do appreciate them for plugging in and digging in deeper into their knowledge. That's why they can't be here tonight, because they're working on higher education. Appreciate you, Black Swan. Appreciate you, CP Mays, for coming through, sharing such incredible energy. Damn it. Mainstays of our community. For real, this is what we do, y'all. I continue to say this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest community in the Zoomverse. Whew. This is truly what we do, y'all. Coming up next, haven't heard this cat in a couple weeks, but I am so very glad and thankful that he is back in the building with another beautiful Rocky background. Listen, the one and only Mark Colby is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Floor is yours.
Thank you. You're awesome. This has been an awesome night. I can't believe my poem seems to even fit in with the some of the topics, thematic elements, images, words that have preceded me. It does have a bit of the taste thing. The theme somehow ended up in here. Don't ask me how. This poem is called Days of Winter, which are now coming to an end. But Days of Winter. I piston-engined it through the back roads, drove as fast as legal between frozen farm fields stretched to the horizon, sun on the snow and rows of snow and ice that covered black dirt, rows of harvested corn stubble, contrast of black dirt and white snow, ice, white and silver, bright, blinding light, bright to the point no f-stop nor shutter speed could ever catch the glorious white, silver, blinding light on fields that rolled out into a horizon of eternity white light. At this cold, crisp air time of year, where the pollution gets blown out, where I can breathe without breathing in death, fixed on the sight of a glory seen among the fields of white, mere shining light, the sun so bright nobody can raise their eyes, fields so bright nobody can photograph them, no iPhone nor 35mm sensor can capture them, where no film paper is slow enough nor fast enough, where no dodging nor burning is dark enough nor light enough, glory washed across the snow-covered fields, and here, like everywhere I know, soon I will smell the power plants again, smell the coal, mercury, methane gas, oil, cadmium, beryllium, smoke of madness, smell torch hot steel, steam tanks and burners, and feel radioactive power, radiated rage. I will again go for walks and taste the burnt steel. I will smell the acid in my sinuses. I will again know the smell and taste of death. The blown to bits, burnt death. The people and city after city war death. The murdered women and girls, the mutilated and stoned to death. The police racist, hate-filled, power-drunk, almighty, blue, beat, choke, shoot to death. The shot up people in the car, park, street, apartment, home, school, church, grocery store, movie theater, mall, death. I thought of the murders, the police lynchings, thought of the fossil fuel power plants, the power plants I will soon taste and smell again. I drove fast, fast as legal, through the frozen fields, fertile black dirt covered in snow and ice, with sunlight, eternity bright, with white snow, ice, light. Then for a billionth of a second, I felt uplifted in the fields of bright snow light. Thank you.
Wow. In the fields of bright snow light indeed. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mark Colbert.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark.
Holy.
Great job, Mark.
The imagery in that was
Yeah,
just
beautiful
astonishing.
imagery, right?
Yeah, intense and powerful, Mark.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you
amazing.
guys were intense and powerful tonight, and I'm glad it could fit in.
Oh, you definitely matched, man.
Bring your own
brought it.
flavor. You bring your
Yeah.
own flavor, and that's what it's about. Each person brings their own thing, and that's what
Yeah.
makes a stew beautiful. All the different
Truth.
flavors.
Truth. Truth.
Stew.
Yeah.
Listen, whether you call it a stew or a gumbo or blabagadoosh, right? I got a partner who's from Serbia. They call it a paprikash, right? Listen, it don't matter what you call it, right? Put the filet in it, season it up. It's gonna be delicious, right? Whether you call it trash can stew or roadkill, it doesn't matter, right? If there's love in it, it's gonna taste fantastic, right? And that is why Monday night continues to be the most flavorful night of the week, because all of y'all continue to add your seasoning here and there, right? There's some star, there's some anise in here, there's some paprika in here, right? There's some lemon pepper in here, right? There's some saffron in here. There's so many flavors in here. Y'all make this Monday night gumbo more than palatable. You make it intoxicating, damn near ambrosia, all right? Speaking of ambrosia, this next poet, I am truly, truly glad to see this poet, because they've been going through some things, right? They have gone and shared space with some iconic, legendary folks, right? Been under the weather in some different spaces, but guess what? They have found themselves back on Monday night to share their incredible work. The one and only Madi is back in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It's been a minute.
I know. Hi, everybody. I'm back. You can find me on Diamonds in the Abyss. That's my Instagram. Yeah, I've just been like MIA, you know. Literally just finished writing this poem 5 minutes ago. I finished it. I was like, I gotta write something. So it's a little short. So I don't even have a name of it, but here we go. All right. I remember when I took my first bite of heartbreak. I didn't see ill intentions hiding underneath the perfect layer of milk chocolate, because I was only dipping the tips of my fingers in the icing. It was not until I took a bigger bite that I tasted malice. The bitterness hugged onto each of my taste buds like the barnacle colonies on the hull of my self-esteem sinking ship. I couldn't eat. Laying in a fetal position, retching in my sleep, everything reminded me of him, and I was sick to my stomach over and over again. I thought I knew what the scent and taste of love was, but my senses were so immature. Eventually, this taught me to observe more. I have a habit of reading people like nutrition labels because I need to know what your value is to me. I need to know the repercussions of adding you to my diet on a daily basis. Do you increase my risk of heart disease by clogging my arteries with false friendship, fake forevers, and parasitic tendencies that hardens not only my heart, but the vessels that lead in and out of it? I want to know what percentage is organic, natural, real, wholesome, fresh, light. Are you a superfood packed with dense nutrients? You see, I am a glutton. If you invite me to a buffet, I will pile up my plate with fulfilling, perfectly seasoned conversations that have been marinating in this frigid world. I prefer to leave my food for thoughts out in the cold, on the back porches of society where other poets also thrive. It's a place where we can have a better view of the stars and our brain cells marinate into a savory fusion of enigma, dredged in understanding about the beauty in our differences. Differences that amalgamate into an exquisite delicacy that we deliver in the forms of verses. Bon appetit. End poem.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Poets like that, they irritate the hell out of me because they say, oh no, I just wrote this, so forgive me if it's wrong. Give it up for Marty.
Oh man, feeling.
Wow.
Great job, Marty.
Really wholesome. I just put this together. It's a little
That's
short.
amazing.
That'll blow your mind.
That was
Bon
amazing.
appetit.
That was amazing.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? One of my favorite things about our community is when people say, forgive me, I just wrote this, right? Kind of like a Prince song, right? I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes too fast. I love that when poets come to our space and they say, forgive me. I'm just, slinging paint all over the place. This is some brand new shit. I haven't had a chance to do all these things. I love when poets come with that, right? Because it means that it's about to be bananas, right? Bananas. And if that was as bananas as everyone else felt, that kind of makes us gorillas. That was all the way on point, Marty. I appreciate that. Really, there's so many things. She said, on the hull of my self-esteem seeking ship. Damn it. Right? Damn it. Adding you to my diet. If you don't, come on, Marty. Come on. Make sure you are plugging in with Marty. Great to see that you're feeling better, Marty, and plugging in with us. I know the babies are probably somewhere close. Shout out to the babies. Listen, appreciate you for always coming through and being a mainstay. There he is. What up? What up? Always good to see you supporting mommy. All right. Listen, this night is, I keep telling y'all, it's the hypest night of the week. It's the best night of the week. And we will continue to show y'all exactly why. Coming up next, where is the honey lung? I know I saw the honey lung. Where did the honey lung go?
Yeah, she's not in Zoom right now, unfortunately.
Okay, that's all right. I will yell at them offline, no problem. All right, which means that we get a chance to come up on this next poet who shared a video with us last week. This poet continues to come through and share his incredible work with us. I mentioned before, this gentleman has a book that chronicles his life throughout the open mic for the past couple decades. Where are you going? You know I'm coming at you, man. I'm coming at you. All right, I got you. He had to get his manuscript. Great. And I'm glad you did that, CC. Make sure you show that to the folks, man. Listen, this is what I love about our community, man. Folks know what it is. Listen, the one and only CC Arshagra. Listen, make sure you're plugging in with this dude. He is incredible in so many facets. And what we learned a couple of weeks ago, CC is a whole person. He's not just a little piece of a Zoom box. Unmute yourself, CC. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Oh man, thank you. I love everyone here. You gotta yell that shit. So yeah, 20 years plus ago, I just dove into open mics, and you could write your name down and speak your mind and not be murdered. I thought that was a big deal. So I gave 5 years of my life. I got derailed. I haven't published in 20 years. I put the 3 books together, put them back together again. It's called The Open Microphone, and I'm blessed. It's subtitled Human Rights to Free Speech and the Voice. It is a study that open microphone is going to save democracy and free speech, and nothing else will. So stay real, people, or dream on, or fuck reality. Pick one. It's all good. I'm gonna do one little piece, and then I'm gonna say something. This is from another manuscript because I said I haven't written in 20 years. So the manuscripts are piled up. I'm too busy right now. This is a title poem to a manuscript called Done Is Now. I wrote this at the beginning of the eugenic phase. Oh, he did it again. Imagine now is here as if the coming is gone. The deed not yet already happened. The thought soon to be just transpired. The prayer answered before the praying was asked. The birth to be was done and then died happy. Undisturbed was God. That's the title poem to a manuscript that I'm working on. What I'm going to do now is, a long time ago when the whole Israeli-Palestine thing was boiling up and everybody's like, hey, you know, it's like, what the fuck? And we can't talk about it and shit's going down. I was living in Boston and I was, this guy wanted to do a 9/11. Every year he wanted to do an all-day art thing for 9/11. And he wanted me to put together a poetry band to play at the first one. I ended up leaving Boston and moving to Washington, but we ended up in the studio and I recorded one song, and it's kind of the cheesiest song I've ever wrote, but it was meant ever since 15 plus years ago to end up on radio in Jerusalem or in Israel. And I've been trying and I have not. So I'm going to play you a ditty of a song that I wrote about the Jew Christian. It's called the Jew Christian Muslim Song. And at the time on YouTube, when I loaded it, there was not another Jew Christian Muslim song on there. Now it's, you got to dig to find one. There's just so much at the top there in YouTube. So I'm going to press play. I'm going to put this thing on, and it's only 2 minute and 15 second song with 19 seconds up front of no sound. So hang in there, and then I'm done, and thank you. And again, I love you people. I gotta go. And I'll put a bunch of shit in the chat. That's just so much. It's unbelievable. Fuck. Let's see. Share screen. I'm not in.
Okay, try again. It's enabled now.
Yes, thank you. Bada boom, bada bing. Here it is. Press share. You're in full screen. Press play.
I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. My right never trusting what my left will do. I'll be ever on guard of who's attacking who. I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. I'm a riddle inside a reason. A prison called a belief system. And within this cell here, I'm a-praying to interpret all justified killing. I therefore cannot be the other, and the Creator can't be my mother. So I'll spend all my freedoms fear-making, while hate keeps me safe from awakening. That I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. My right never trusting what my left will do. I'll be ever on guard of who's attacking who. I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. I'm a a Muslim too. My right never trusting what my left will do. I'll be ever on guard of who's attacking who. I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too. My right never trusting what my left will do. I'll be ever on guard of who's attacking who. I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim too.
So yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but that's Brian Haley, Dennis Sullivan, and Kiefer Infantino. He's a bass player down in these are amazing friends of mine from back in the day. And that's it. 2006. That's a couple of days ago. Let me stop the screen. I don't know if you can still hear me all that time. Did you hear that?
Of course we did. Of course we did. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CCR Chagra.
Very good. Very well done.
Yeah.
Good advertising, Diddy.
So if you know anybody in Israel that will get that on even an alternative radio station, it's like it's so weird that I found somebody and I actually found an alternative radio person. They said, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can play that one. It's like, what? Where's the art? Where's the art? Change the name of Jerusalem to a human town. I wrote a song about that. Gotta fix that shit. It's us. It's just us, man. It's just us. We are not against each other competing. You know, you read a poem and you're not better, worse, man. This is it. You guys are doing beautiful work. I love this community so much.
Damn. Thank you, CC. We truly, truly appreciate you for sharing that song with us. Listen, so many things, right? So many things that you said beyond the religious aspect of it, right? Because there are some religious aspects of it, but the things that you were mentioning in the song kind of go above any real religious connection, right? You said, while hate keeps me safe from awakening, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with religion, right? That has to do with knowledge and making sure that you're focused on what you're learning. Thank you, CC. Really, I'm telling you, a valued member of our community. That cat continues to come through and opening our minds to multiple things. Make sure you are plugging in with CCR Chagra, really a mainstay of our community, always focused on opening your brain. All right. Thank you, CC. Coming up next, I get to yell at this poet. This poet has been around. Listen, this is 1/3 of the Jersey Trinity, author of the Chameleon Chronicles. Listen, this poet also has done some poetry games, has also done some karaoke nights with Fincabulary. This poet, again, the author of the Chameleon Chronicles, the one and only Terry Rose Jurtson. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It has been too long, Terry. Been too long. Floor is yours. Take it away.
I get busy sometimes with life. Life sometimes beats me over the head repeatedly. So I'm trying to just get through a lot of things right now, but I'm happy to be here. I have some on theme that I wrote. If my phone cooperates with me. You can find me on Facebook under Teresa Rose Jurtson, or you can find me on Instagram under The Chameleon Poetic. And I get that from my book, which is right behind me. That's the cover. If you guys are interested in a copy of my book, just hit me up on one of those social media platforms. Okay. One day I decided I was too fat and tired and tried to starve the person in the mirror. But I ended up doing just the opposite. Just because, why not? Who cares anymore? Who am I trying to impress? Too old to be bothered. I'm a goddess. Besides, all the women my age look like me. They are my people. Upon this moment of clarity, I periodically gorge myself with pastry cream. I'm on a mission to hit every Italian bakery from Atlantic City to Hoboken. Let them eat cake, boss. Can I do one more short one? I have a little, like a erotica, a little bit. So my favorite flavor of emotion tantalizes innermost sanctum. Taste of limoncello cannoli dusted with powdered sugar. Tames disturbing thoughts. Smothers with creamy sweet filling that foreplays with tongue of citrus and delicate bite of phallic shell. Coating inhibitions, coaxing a small scream of pleasure. Emotions awaken to overwhelmed soul palette with orgasmic colors, still craving for more. Thank you.
What did she say? Orgasmic colors? Did she say orgasmic colors? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Terry
I
Rose.
heard craving. I heard craving.
Nicely done.
Thank
Terry.
you.
Nicely
Awesome.
done.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
Fire.
Terry, that's what I'm talking about. You see, this is why I yell at people, right? This is why I yell at poets, because I know what they do, right? I'm completely familiar with Terry's work, right? Terry continues to take it up, and take it up, right? She continues to add new skin to her chameleonism. Listen, she mentioned limoncello. Woo! If you don't know about limoncello, you better plug in, y'all, right? But one thing that I wanted to mention, and I would shout out the daughter of Krypton, but I know she's been under the weather. She said, I'm too old to be bothered. Besides, I'm a goddess. Damn it. Listen. I love that. I love that when you step into who you are and you're comfortable with it and you stand on that shit and you make it a statement. I love that, right? Because she tantalizes your innermost sanctum. She does that. Make sure you're plugging in with Terry Rose Jurtson. Make sure you are plugging in and getting their book, The Chameleon Chronicles. Again, a valued member of our community. Thank you, Terry, for coming through this evening. Always great to see you and hear your work. All right. We are in the home stretch, folks. Couple folks left. Coming up next, we all know and love this cat. He is stationary this evening. And listen, I had a conversation with this cat earlier in the week. This dude is really who he is, right? We are going to continue to inspire and energize his incredible behavior. The one and only Oso Lobo propaganda poet in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, brother. It's always great to see you, man. Take it away.
I guess tonight was supposed to be spicy, but I don't know if y'all know me, but I'm kind of salty. So that's where I'm going tonight. This is called Open Letter to the Curriculum Committee from the Ethnic Studies Task Force. Why must you try to define that which is divine? Balance rarely occurs on the first try. Your narrow vision feels like patriarchal prison, policies politely cutting, leaving us leftovers, still fighting for the right just to be heard. So where exactly should we exist? Because still we will persist. To normalize is to colonize, downsized and canonized just to comply or deny your worst fears. Our creativity becoming weaponized. Well, try this definition on for size. Our lives you cannot define. We are not your bottom line. We are not just checks to be put in your box. We are here for truth and freedom unlocked. So will the real higher education please stand up? They're hoarding knowledge in college and selling it to the highest bidder. This is the bitter truth. Cutting off the youth to any possibility of doing anything other than just scraping to survive. Preventing the possibility of actually living until they die. See, this is all by design. This system is full of it. All these red flags that say if you don't play our way, then good luck ever having a say in how this all goes down the drain. I grow ever so tired of trying to explain how this pain is created. This architect's insatiable need to feed all 7 of their own deadly sins can only never be sated with all the hatred that they actually created, while they scream about it all just being fake or just trying to convince us all that we're just innate or we're just ingrates who just don't know how to appreciate. Well, I am here to thank you, Nuyo, my poetry global family, for showing me that it is never too late. We can unlock all the knowledge we want, and it can all be for free. They do not have the only key. Street knowledge and spoken word college are always in session at these Monday night online Nuyo sessions, where we can learn the most important lessons in our collective poetry slam sessions, where we can manifest all of the best inventions with very real intention of teaching and learning from each other, each and every sister, each and every brother, so that maybe we can actually find a way to fucking fix all this shit and actually move forward together. Thank you all. Peace, love, and poetry. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. Thank you for making the world a better place.
Listen, we will continue to influence that cat's behavior. Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Peace, love, and poetry.
Yeah.
Propaganda poet.
Oh yeah.
Take it off the chip.
Consider yourself encouraged.
Protest, man. Protest.
Get his
only.
books.
Man, okay. Okay. The Mega said it himself, right? The Jedi Master said it, to fucking fix all this shit and find a way to move forward together. Come on. Come on. Prop said to normalize is to colonize. Come on, man. Come on. They do everything they can to feed all 7 of their deadly sins. Come on. Come on, Prop. Come on, Prop. Right? All the energy that you bring to our collective poetry slam sessions is felt, heard, and necessary. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, before that, make sure you're plugging in the Propaganda Poet, because he can teach you something inside and outside of his classroom. All right. Coming up next, and is the closer for this evening. Listen, I happened to plug in to this gentleman's open mic this past weekend, and I'm telling you, it is truly a beautiful international space. Make sure you are plugging in with the one and only Unmesh Mohitgar. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can plug into all of your incredible work and your open mic. The floor is yours, Unmesh. Great to see you as always.
Hey, thanks a lot, Elemental. It's amazing to be here at Neo. If you don't come to Neo, then you're missing something. So please do come regularly. I do try. I've been doing this from last 2.5 years. Yes. I've got an open mic every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. New York time. Please do join. It's fun. A lot of poets from different parts of the world do come there. And here we go. This is my poem today. And okay. No. All is not fair in love and war. So many poems, movies and books written about love. Love is business, love is war, love is fight, love is flight. If love goes out of business, the share market might tank. Love is searching in nothingness. Love, is it reality or just a chemical reaction to add flavor to life? The kissing, the missing, the loving, the cuddling, the fighting, the caring, the crying, the dying, the waiting. Don't get me wrong. I completely get it. Falling in love, love at first sight, love without boundaries, love song drenched in rains, love suffering in vain. All is fair in love and war. 15th century code still used, misused, and abused. No. All is not fair in love and war. This favors the rich and the strong to hide their wrongs, sell their love songs, kick people like a ping pong ball. It has ruined so many lives and countries, empty people, lonely in jam-packed wedding hall. No, 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 all is not fair in love and war. Romantic concept of love, myth for me. Love might exist or not, but I see the lonely, forlorn eyes looking into infinity, in waiting, in search of the love. In the search for love is immortal. Few people love the search more than the love. Once love is found, search is dead. Imagine searching for something which might not exist. This is something very strong. The very basic foundation of human society lies on something which might not exist. But still, I say, all is not fair in love and war. My search for true love has taken me too far. So near, yet so far. So near, yet so far. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Oh my goodness, that's how you end an evening. Unmute yourself, give it up for Umesh.
Umesh.
Yeah,
Umesh.
Wonderful Umesh.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
It's just a whole night of TED Talks.
Okay. Tell him, Prob. Listen, that poet said all is not fair in law and war. Come on. Loud suffering in plain sight. Few people love the search more than the loud. Listen, if you are not familiar with the one and only Unmesh Mohikar, make sure you become familiar. He runs his own open mic, as he mentioned, 10:30 a.m. New York time on Saturday. It is truly a beautiful space. It is truly a welcoming international space. Make sure you plug in to a valued pillar of our community. Unmesh is one of those folks. I tell you all the time we do this. Unmesh is one of those folks who truly do this. He is dedicated to it and has been and continues to be. All right, folks, we reached the end of the evening. I want to say thank you for all of you, from the leadoff hitter, Alexander Goldberg, still in the building, right, to our closer this evening, Unmesh Mohikar. Thank you all for sharing your evening with us. Shout out to the folks who weren't able to join us this evening. Shout out to Black Swan, shout out to Tanise Kaur, and shout out to Rohit Jayaram. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with all of what the New Yo is doing, right? Check into their social medias, plug into the full events calendar. Women's Orators is going on Thursday. Thunderlung Thursday is jumping off. All the things, make sure you are plugging in, stay plugged in with the super tech Ron Mark Thompson. I am Elemental, your host. Make sure you are plugging in next week, where the theme will be the jewels of life or heirlooms. All right. Listen, it has truly been a pleasure to share Monday night with y'all. And listen, I'm going to close the night with this. Thank y'all for coming out this evening, for sharing all of your energy with us. Until we meet again, sending you with all this incredible energy and inspiration we gathered this evening. May this energy supercharge the rest of your week till we find our way back to Monday night. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity, and share it with those in your circles. Be kind to yourselves. Make time for yourselves and each other. Build and reinforce your network. You are appreciated. Your voice is necessary and always valued in this space. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with y'all. Until next week, peace and blessings, y'all. Love all of y'all.